Welcome back to another episode of Beyond Blue. As I recall, we finished off last episode by looking around the sub. Yeah, that's right. Very exciting. The recovery of the sea turtles in the region. We're still down here in the depths. There's my Mola friend. Oh, he's coming by to say hi. I'm not gonna wait though. I feel like it's gonna take a long time for him to come by, so we're not gonna do that. I'm not gonna waste time looking at the Mola like I always do. You guys are probably sick of Mola. You're like, oh my god, stop. Yeah. So we got off the phone. We talked with Irina a little bit, telling her about Andre's history with the turtles. And we already looked at our stream highlights, so we've got a message from Andre, it looks like.
Hi, Mirai. Sorry to miss the post-dive brief. I've been listening to our humpback recordings for hours and got myself in a kind of funk. Actually, I started listening to the humpbacks and then switched to Miles Davis. Anyway, I don't see any clear sign that our playback influenced any of the other whales yet, but I just know we're on the right track. I'm sorry to be in such a mood. Don't know what to make of those turtles or what's going on with our sperm whale family. Right. Catch you in a bit.
Poor Andre. At least he's got good taste in music. Collect a microbial... Search for giant squid using a light-based lure that mimics bioluminescent... Oh. I'm sorry, what? Giant squid. We're gonna mimic a jellyfish and try and lure... That's so cool. And look at microbial near Brine Pool. Sorry, human diseases can wait. We're gonna go explore a brine pool. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in the last episode. Brine pools are super, super cool. So it looks like we're diving in sort of the same area. We're not. I think that's about the same depth we were last time, 478 meters. But it's gonna be low visibility and cold. I think because we're going at night. Not that it really matters down this far, but we're gonna see brine pools. This is so cool. Brine pools are... They're probably gonna talk about this in the game, but I'm gonna tell you anyway because it makes me feel smart. Brine pools are areas of water that are more dense than the rest of the ocean. Usually they're saltier or they have gases in them like methane and stuff like that. And so it actually looks like a pool of water underwater. It's really cool. We're gonna see it apparently, so this is very exciting. Unlocked a song. Wonder what that means. Let's go see about the stuff.
Day 12. Spent the last 5 days on an endless series of depth tests of Andre's deep diving suit. Guess he doesn't want me to implode on the live stream. I do hope it's giant squid proof though. The mapping drone located a brine pool near where Andrea's family has been hunting. That is before it went AWOL. Ready to dive.
Mirai. Oh my goodness. Well, I also don't want us to die, so I'm glad that you've been testing out the suit. Pressure gets pretty intense underwater. Who they weren't kidding about.
I'm in and okay.
Low visibility.
Sure I can't talk you into another test dive at this depth before we stream?
Enough test dives. It's not like I'm doing a spacewalk.
Well, with this suit you probably could.
Are we gonna talk about suit crush depth again?
I think we can probably roll.
Starting live stream.
Welcome back, ocean friends. Tonight, I am deep. Midnight zone, no light from the surface deep. Tonight, we're using Andre's lure drone to mimic the Atolla jellyfish to lure large predators like the giant squid.
It's certainly not all my tech. I'm building on years of prior research.
Don't forget our mission to the Brine Pools.
Oh yes, Irina will fill you in on that later.
I love that I really almost just ran into an anglerfish. I don't like that I can't see anything, so I'm sticking close to this rock wall because it's something that I can see. Ooh. More lanternfish. More comb jelly. Wow, I did not expect to be so anxious about this dive. I'm just curious. Oh, so we do have a map. I was wondering if maybe we wouldn't have a map because we lost the mapping drone. But that we're probably not on that dive yet because they said that was vents. And this is just a brine pool. Although I believe brine pools are created by similar processes. Just look at the bioluminescence on that guy. Yeah, it has to do with areas of seismic activity under the ocean where chemicals seep out of the ocean floor.
Okay, Andre, how do I find the lure drone?
Look for blinking red lights in the water column.
Oh, guys, it's a barrel-eye fish. Oh, we have to look at him in the model viewer later. Barrel-eye fish are so cool. Activate lure camera. Oh, I see red lights. This is exciting. Hopefully we don't get eaten by a giant squid. That would bring an end to our dive pretty
No need
quickly.
to get too close. You can activate the lure from there.
Can I?
Andre, have you done this before?
There.
I haven't, but others have.
How long until we can expect the lure to attract a predator?
It's hard to say. It's a big ocean. But if you lose patience, I would find some real Atolla jellyfish. I have a feedback system set up to improve the lure as you scan them.
Of course you do. For those watching, we will be scanning these Atolla jellyfish to make sure Andre's lure matches the real thing.
It does, but it can always be refined.
Not much confidence in humanity, but plenty in himself.
Let's see what this thing can do. Oh. I can barely even see it in the darkness. Whoa. These things are so cool.
Got the jellyfish scans, though Andre doesn't need them.
In truth, they should improve the lure. I would not waste your time.
Getting a few impolite comments on the screen pointing out that giant squid don't feed on Atolla jellyfish.
They're right. Actually, the Atolla puts on this light show when under attack, in order to lure creatures big enough to eat their attacker. Might have some useful human applications.
I think we need more Atolla scans to improve the lure.
Are there more around here? Oh, there's one. Is that the same barrel eye? No, it's a new one. Ah, look at my barrel eye. They're called barrel eyes because their eyes look like barrels. No, I don't actually, the name barrel eye doesn't exactly make sense. But they are really cool. Their eyes look directly up rather than forward like most eyes do. Because down here, you can't see anything. To put it simply, but sometimes you can get a little bit of light glimmer from the surface, and you can see things moving in front of that light and casting a shadow. So their eyes look up instead of forward in the hopes that they'll notice something.
Okay, whose idea was it to live stream this particular dive? I am glad I can't see the comments.
I would agree. My grandmother had the same for times like this. not going to try my grandmother's accent on a live stream, but loosely translated, it means if you get bored waiting for a giant squid, you can always go to a brine pool.
That's a pretty specific saying.
Oh my goodness. Irina. Have patience, Irina. Come on, these jellyfish are beautiful. And just look at their little light shows. I guess I already scanned this one. How was I supposed to know? I see more points of interest. Is this another jellyfish? Admittedly, there's probably not much to look
I
at.
noticed that these atollas were already making their blue alarm before you swam close.
Most likely a sign that they have detected predators in the region that threaten them.
Predators like what? That bar looks like it's almost full. Oh my god.
That gave me a chill.
So cool.
I know how much you enjoyed that, but do you mind if we check out the brine pool before we check on our whale cam?
If you insist. You got what you wanted. This is my giant squid.
Is that another one of your grandmother's sayings?
No, but she often used this one. Hurry up and collect my specimens for me.
What an expressive language.
It's no giant squid, but I promise you, you won't have to wait to find it.
But did any of you on the live stream just see that squid that just rocketed past our head too fast for me to scan it? I'm trying not to swim with my scanner out too much because the UI is a little distracting, but down here where it's so dark, it really helps me to see. Let me go down to the bottom a little bit closer. That will make me feel better. Oh, and look, we found another football fish. I just love their bioluminescence. If I wasn't so frightened by the idea of swimming with my headlight off, maybe I would do that a little bit more. We could always be purple though. That's fun. Let's go back to normal. What do we got? What's moving so quick over here?
At long last, welcome to the brine pool. I know it's really a salt lake under the ocean, but it looks more like a witch's brew. I have been teasing Irina, but a brine pool is a diverse microenvironment within the ocean. It has its own ecosystem.
And each one is unique. So that means the microbiology is unique and could hold groundbreaking solutions to human problems. Each time I take your samples into a lab here on this ship, it's this magical discovery moment where I tingle all over. I fund my own research so I can pursue what I know to be important. And people ask me, how much money are you going to spend to collect some bacteria at the bottom of the ocean? If these bacteria hold the cure for a disease that relieves even just a small amount of human suffering, how do you put a price on that?
That is some giant squid.
So this over here is our brine pool. It doesn't look like much, but you can see that it's sort of darker. And if I swim out over it, you can see a little bit, the surface of it is sort of reflective. What is very interesting is, so these are hagfish. These guys are super, super cool. I got really excited, but I didn't want to interrupt Irina. They're super crazy cool guys. I could talk a lot about them, but the most interesting thing about them, I think, is that they produce a lot of mucus. That's kind of really gross. But they keep seeming to swim into these brine pools, which is odd to me because most brine pools that I've ever heard of are highly toxic. And if an animal accidentally swims into them, it's basically instant death. I've actually seen hagfish accidentally find their way into brine pools, and it is not pretty. It is not pretty. They basically go into they basically have a seizure. They go into shock, basically, and they die. So, it's kind of odd that it looks like they're swimming into the brine pool. I've never heard of a brine pool that wasn't dangerous. But I'm not a marine biologist, so I'm sure there's lots I don't know. But they are fascinating habitats, and oftentimes you'll find massive fields of clams and other bivalves and stuff surrounding them, just like you'll find at hydrothermal vents. You'll find whole ecosystems based around the nutrients that you can get out of a brine pool if you know how to harvest them. And these are tube worms. Get used to these guys, because we're going to find a lot of them at hydrothermal vents, which is usually where you find them. They can get absolutely massive. These guys are nothing compared to what you can see. But they're an example of the type of thing you find in these deep ocean hotspots. Along with shrimps and crabs and hagfish and all kinds of stuff. We've got one more thing to scan. But, oh, here we go.
Mirai, pushing your waypoint.
Sperm whales are back on the hunt.
I hear clicking.
Look for the drones. They will seek out the sound of the sperm whales and then idle nearby.
We hope that today, Andrea's tech will make it possible to document how a sperm whale hunts the giant squid.
A mysterious factor indeed. It's been very difficult to study whales at this depth because, well, it's deep, and it's dangerous, and it's crushing, and it's dark. It's hard to study anything this far down. But we've known for a long time that they do it.
Let's go tag some sperm whales so we can eavesdrop on their hunting.
One of our viewers wants to know if there is a problem with the link, since the waypoints keep appearing and disappearing.
No problem. The drones are in stealth mode, so they will only track the whales by sound.
I better swim fast.
Whoa.
We'll keep good watch over you.
Oh, I lost. Oh, there he is. But yeah, we've known for a long time that the sperm whales hunted giant squids because they would come back up to the surface with these massive sucker marks. Only one thing causes that.
Whoa!
There goes our camera.
What just happened?
I think the squid knocked the camera right off.
I had that camera feed in full screen on my visor, and for a second I thought it was lights out for me.
Sounds like a good time for the sub to pick you up. Live stream out.
Oh, that was so short. I switched to UV because all of our drones were in, or not UV, in infrared. Wow, brain not working. Because all of our drones are in infrared, so felt right. Brine pools are like lakes under the ocean. They are incredibly rich in undiscovered life forms. they have the perfect cocktail for life. That is true. And they're so fascinating. That was such a short dive. Maybe I'm getting better at this, or maybe there just wasn't much to look at. It was a little unnerving being so blind under the water, but... Oops, let's see. There's... almost looks like a microscope or something. Little notepad. Let's see what's on the whiteboard today. Listen to Sophie's demo track. Oh, we're gonna listen to... That makes me so happy. I want to listen to Irina's daughter's music. Search Ocean X for other turtle sightings. Should we send a thank you to Edith Wider? Who's Edith Wider? I don't know. New black marker. Oh, new black marker. We're running out of our dry erase marker, I guess. It does look like it's kind of faded. Oh my goodness. Well, practical notes are always important too. Very tidy today. Yeah, except for our bed. Oh, looks like we were having some hot beverages, tea or coffee. Our little rabbit. Let's see if there's anything in here. Sometimes she leaves things on the seat. Oh, look, more jellyfish. Well, if it's a short episode, that means I can spend time in the model viewer, and none of you can stop me. I'm just kidding. I won't spend too long, I promise. Let's see. Some new deep sea. Ah, here's our barrel eyes. So, if you look at them, they look like they have normal eyes, but those in front of their face, or in the front of their face, are not their eyes. Their eyes, oops, wrong way, are those big circles, and the tops of their heads are actually transparent, so they can see through the tops of their heads. They're so crazy cool. They probably don't, oh, they do have behaviors. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. Alright, let's see. We don't have anything in the science log yet, because we've only scanned a few of them. Lanternfish. These guys are so cute. Oh my goodness. They've got bioluminescence on their little stomachs by the looks of it. Let's see. No behaviors, and nothing in the science log yet. We've got the football fish. As one mean looking anglerfish. Oh, whoops. They have behaviors, we just can't see them yet. And probably we're not going to get access to anything on the science log, but there is something interesting here. So, one thing that we do know is their size. And what you might notice is that the females are incredibly bigger than the males. Like, over 10 times bigger. So, these big ones that you see, these are females. Every single one of them. The males are tiny little guys. They actually kind of look like those lanternfish that we looked at earlier. They're tiny, they're not as impressive. I'm not even sure that they have lures. But what they do, their whole goal in life is to find a female. First female they find, they're happy. They will latch onto her. I think they literally bite onto her. And when she's ready to mate, they will mate. Like, they'll provide genetic material for her. And they basically become parasites, like feeding off of her. They eventually, I believe, they kind of like almost fuse together, where they provide genetic material so she can lay fertilized eggs and they get nutrients from her. It's crazy. There are a lot of really interesting adaptations to finding a mate in the deep ocean where it's hard to find anything. So with these football fish, they go, first one we find, we're sticking with her. So that is one interesting thing about the football fish. Hagfish. These guys. These guys are so interesting. Just whacks you in the face with that tail. They're very simple, as you can see. Don't think they even have eyes, but they're covered in a sticky mucus, and they generate it in like ridiculous quantities, basically, where they can turn a bucket of water into a bucket of slime in seconds if they ever get hauled up. And that's so that predators can't get a grip on them. They just mucus their way right out of it, basically. The other interesting thing about them is they're, I believe, cartilaginous. Or at the very least, they don't have a very developed skeletal structure. And obviously they don't have any limbs. So they're scavengers primarily, I believe, and they have a hard time pulling flesh away from bodies. So what they do in order to get leverage is they will literally tie themselves into knots. And as they pull themselves through the knot, they will use that momentum to help them eat. They're super interesting. Everything in the deep sea is interesting. Everything has to have dramatic adaptations in order to survive. Jellyfish are jellyfish. All jellyfish are interesting. But we actually know a bit about these guys. They live in the midnight zone. We found them in brine pools, and we can see that they create bioluminescent alarm patterns when threatened, which can be seen as far as 300 meters away. These patterns are thought to attract predators to attack the creature threatening them. Yeah, so as you can see, some of the animals that live this far down in the ocean where light doesn't reach, they've just evolved, they've gotten rid of their eyes, the same way that a lot of cave-dwelling creatures, where when there's no light, there's nothing to see, so there's no point in having eyes. But a lot of them haven't gotten rid of their eyes, and the reason for that is that bioluminescence is so prevalent, and if you don't have eyes, you can't see what other people are saying. Some animals, like the flashlight fish that we saw last episode, use their bioluminescence to try and help them see, shining it like a flashlight. But more often than not, the bioluminescence is used to either keep things away from you or attract things to you or to communicate across your species. So the anglerfish uses it to lure. Some animals will eject a bioluminescent, like squid ink basically, in order to try and get away to distract a predator, and some of them will use it to communicate across to other members of their species. Some animals will bioluminesce in specific colors that is not commonly seen. So blue is very commonly used as a bioluminescent color, but red is very uncommon. So some animals will bioluminesce in red because the animals don't have the ability to see the color red, a lot of them, because they don't need to. They need to see blue because the only light that filters down through the ocean is blue, very faint blue. So by communicating with red light, you can be invisible to most people except for members of your own species. So that's a very handy thing. Some animals also bioluminesce or biofluoresce in very specific patterns that help them differentiate different members of the species. Or different, what species a different creature is. So they only breed with animals they're compatible with because they know they're recognized by the pattern. Bioluminescence is fascinating, and I'm rambling, sorry. Let's just take a peek and see what we've got to look forward to. Livestream highlights, first video capturing a sperm whale hunting, microbial samples from the Brine Pool to forward Irina's work. Oh my god. I just looked at our next dive. Our next dive, location South China Sea, abyss. Dive visibility low. Water temperature 2 degrees Celsius. That is almost freezing. And if you look at our depth, our next dive will be 4,128 meters below sea level. we're going to the hydrothermal vents, guys. This is crazy. I mean, our last dive, Andre was worried about the depth, and we were 400 meters. Now we're 4,000 meters down. This is gonna be intense. I'm so excited. But, as excited as I am, that's gonna have to wait till next time. So, if you want to see the hydrothermal vents, and what I suspect is probably pretty close to the conclusion of our research out here, you're gonna have to tune in next time. And I hope you do. But until then, bye-bye.